everybody, Wayne here. In today's Let's Play, we're going to continue our playthrough of Midway Solitaire, Deluxe Edition from Joseph Miranda and Decision Games. I have a recon unboxing, I have a tutorial playthrough where I describe everything and have a lot of graphics pop up, things like that. And then I will have an overview interview coming as well. I had some people say they wanted to see me continue the playthrough, and I figured, hey, it'd be kind of fun to do that, so let's go ahead and do that. It'll not be the same as the tutorial. If you want to learn exactly how to play, watch that. Otherwise, I feel like we should just go ahead and dive right in. We're going to continue on where we left off with that video, so let's do it. All right, so we had prepared and done the signal intelligence, so we knew that we would have the Admiral Yamato special operation marker. So go ahead and place that on here. So, let's see. Yamato, both the AL, Aleutians, and MI Midway routes are activated. Conduct operations for Japanese forces, including the U.S. reaction segment, but not the U.S. phase, on the AL route and then the MI route. So, is it the AL and then MI? Believe so. Yeah, that's what it is. So, okay, let's go ahead and do that. So what we'll do, just to remember, let's go ahead and put like as a mnemonic, we'll put the AL marker on top of Yamato. Just a reminder that that's what we're doing, and then we'll do that for the MI as well. So let's put that right there so we kind of remember. All right, let's go to the Japanese search segment. And what are we doing again? AL, yep. So, oh, well. Let's see, there's a couple task forces up here. A little farther away, though, but we'll see what happens. So, let's see. Search. 1, 2, 3, 4. Searching is only, with the task force, is only up to 2 spaces, so no worries about Japanese searches there. Let's go to the Japanese movement segment. They are going to move. Now, I'm normally roll. I'm not going to roll for either of these two because, well, the minimum amount they would move is 1 space. And so they're going to go ahead and move into the Aleutians IJN objective space. Let's go ahead and flip these over then. This is the 2nd CSF Carrier Strike Force and the invasion fleet of the Japanese. And then we'll go ahead and reveal those in a second, but let's go ahead and roll for the main body to see where he moves. Main body B, 4, main body, 2 spaces. So he will also move into the Aleutians. Ooh, all over the place. Okay. Well, something tells me the Aleutians about to fall today. All right, so the 2nd CSF with the Shoho and the Kaga, the invasion Aleutians fleet, and main body B. All right, they're revealed because they're in the same space here as my units. Movement is finished. Go ahead and draw an incident marker. Weather. Okay, incident weather. I've had a lot of these this game, so that means no launches. Basically, you can't launch they will not launch aircraft, and then I will not be able to launch it as well for reaction. Speaking of which, reaction. Can't launch an aircraft, so we're good there. Neither can they. However, mutual combat, yep, there sure will be. So mutual combat, and I'm telling you right now, it looks like I'm probably going to lose the Aleutians, so, which historically, right, that's what happened. So, all right, let's go ahead and place. We're going to have combat here between the Japanese and Americans and the Aleutian Islands. We have our coastal defense unit, that's all we have. And they're going to have, let's see, they're not going to have their, well, what am I trying to say here? Not going to have any aircraft, which is nice because of the bad weather, but they're going to have a ton of ships. All coming in to bombard my poor garrison there. So, all right. Okay. All right. Well, there we go. So, all right, let's go to the not return mutual combat. We're still in combat segment here. So air to air, obviously none. Anti-air, none. Air to naval, none. Air to ground, none. Surface engagement, fire all naval units and coastal defenses naval combat factors against enemy surface naval units. So Japanese will not be attacking any of my surface naval units because I have none. It's just the coastal defense unit. But he gets to go ahead and shoot with only a 1, but still, at somebody. So he's going to go ahead and target, let's see. Let's go ahead and try to target, I guess, the Shoho. No, Kaga. I'll try to target the Kaga. So we're going to have to roll, he has a 1. Remember, it's the middle number on the left there. So he has a 1. So let's see, roll 1 or less. Oh, it was almost on the 1, but it wasn't. So he misses. All right, so the amphibious assault step. So if it takes place, if the current battle takes place in a USN, American Controlled Objective Space, it does, and there are Japanese TRs, so troop transports, right here, present, you must conduct an amphibious assault in order. The Japanese naval bombardment, and then the U.S. defensive fire at the same time, by the way, which we use our ground attack, which is a little higher. But anyway, so naval bombardment, all Japanese non-carrier units, so we'll kind of set aside the Shoho and the Kaga, in the same space, use their ground combat factor, bottom left, against the American base and or air units. We don't apply any air units, or there are none, so it'll just be against the base here. So 1, a 0, a 2, a 2, and a 4. The 4 from the battleship they got here. So, all right, let's just roll down the line. So top one here, the destroyer has a 1. So roll a 1 or less. 3, miss. Nothing. 2 or less from the cruisers. That's a hit. 2 or less from this cruiser. That's another hit. That's 2 hits. And then 5. Oh, 4. Wow. So only the 2 hits. However, the 2 hits are going to take this out. But let's see what we can do. So we're going to do defensive fire. So we have to fire with our ground, and our ground is a 2. So we're going to fire back. Let's go ahead and fire back at, well, I guess the battleship, right? Might as well try to take out the battleship. A 3. So a miss there as well. So we take 2 hits. First hit flips him over, and the second hit will eliminate him. So we go ahead and put the coastal defense in the eliminated box. All right. Amphibious assault. The USM base was eliminated. It was. There's at least 1 Japanese TR. There is. The amphibious assault succeeds. Flip the objective marker from Aleutians from American control to Japanese control. Unfortunate for us, but I kind of expected that to happen. And now we go ahead and remove the TR unit. So he is done. He did his job. So he is removed. Removed from the game doesn't count as, victory points for us, for the Americans, anything like that. So, all right, let's go ahead and what do we got here? Start putting the units back. I'm sure with them. I'm trying to remember. This is something I mentioned. I'll mention in my upcoming review. Sometimes it's hard to remember what units go with what. When you have multiples, I don't remember. I honestly don't remember, so we're gonna go ahead and just put it like that. Okay, battle is done. No return segment because there's no aircraft. Japanese morale, well, they didn't suffer any losses, so no worries there. Logistics, I don't think they have any, no damaged units or anything, so we're done. And we're done with the AL, and remember we have the Yamato Special Operations. We'll go ahead and place this marker over here, put the Midway marker on him, and go ahead and place him here. And yeah, so I think, let's see, the game says you do the operations, you do the Japanese phase, conduct operations for Japanese forces, including U.S. reaction, not the U.S. phase. So I assume, okay, and then you conduct U.S. administrative. Okay, so this one will do the same thing. We'll go back through, but we will do the U.S. and then administrative to end it. So, okay, Operation MI, Midway, search. So they're going to go ahead and search. All right, so here's where we're going to do the searching because it looks like we're finally close enough. Maybe, hang on. We have a task force in Midway. Closest task force of theirs is 1, 2, 3 away. We determine if there's any unspotted American task forces within 3 spaces of a base, which their base is here, so 1, 2, 3. No. 2 spaces of a CSF here, 1, 2. No. All others 1, 1. So no, it's actually they won't search this turn either. They're still too far away to try to spot our task force. All right, now they do their movement. Go ahead and roll for movement here. Start with main body A. A 5. Let's see. 5 is 2 spaces. 1, 2. So it's really close now. I'm going to roll for the first CSF. A 1. Should only be 1 space. Yep. Moves to MI4. Let's roll for the invasion. A 2. I think that'll only be 1 space. Yep. So he moves with him. So he's kind of keeping pace with him. And then finally the guard unit back here. Guard task force. Only 1 as well. Okay. So it's kind of slow moving for them. Slow moving for them for sure. So, all right, we did a movement. So now we'll go ahead and draw incident marker. Incident surprise, +1 movement factor and +1 CF. Oh, that's bad news for us. So I believe that will cause them to move an additional, let's see, surprise move. If drawn during the Japanese movement segment, move all Japanese task forces on the space nearest the U.S. home base, 1 space towards U.S. base. Okay, so he actually will go into Midway. Oh, wow. Okay. Increase all Japanese air unit combat factors on the active route by 1. Oh, man. All right. So now that he moved into our space, by the way, he is spotted, and so is Task Force 16. So main body A, where's he at? Right here. Let's go ahead and flip him over. His carrier, the CVL, Zuiho. I think I saw it before, maybe. That's just my memory. Not supposed to know, though, right? All right, and then... Okay. All right. Let me think here. I was confused myself because I think I flipped over the other ones from here, which I shouldn't have. They're technically still spotted. So they're spotted at the end of turn, but we're not going to worry about that right now. Okay, so he's spotted. He's spotted. We flipped him over. I think that's it. Yep. And let's go ahead and put the marker down here near the battle board, so that way if we get into fight here, which we probably will, we'll remember that. Okay. That's it for you. So U.S. reaction segment. So if on the activated route, which Midway, we can launch carrier-based bombers and fighters against spotted Japanese task forces or island bases. Well, we obviously know the base here, too far away, but we've spotted A and it's in our space, so we're going to want to go ahead and definitely launch everything we got. So we can launch carrier-based bombers and fighters, which Task Force 16 is Enterprise and Hornet. I really wanted... See, this is why I wanted Saratoga. If you watched the first video, I really wanted Saratoga involved. So we'd have another... So we're down a little aircraft a little bit from what I'm comfortable with. I'll just be honest here. So, okay. We have all these aircraft. And then also, we can launch naval aircraft and land aircraft fighters for same space cap missions. So, from the island itself, which we have 1. So, we're going to just put him up here now. So, 1 Midway fighter for cap. We know there's going to be a battle here. Let's go ahead and put the battle marker. Let's do... Speaking of cap, we'll do another one. There's cap, and then we'll do escort. And well, we're gonna be targeting the ships of main body A. So let's attack task force here. Do that. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and send the bombers against the task force, which is, Zuiho and destroyers, and then fighters for escorts, and then fighters for cap, and then 1 for escort. So I think that'll be good there. Let's see, we launched. Yep, we launched from our carriers, launched from the land, just the fighter for cap. Okay, so that's the U.S. reaction. Now we go to the Japanese air launch. So for spotted American task forces and American bases, determining who will launch and what they'll do. So, who's in range? Obviously, they have, in their main body A, they have Zuiho, and then there's a destroyer. Let's go ahead and put Zuiho and destroyers here, just because they are going to be involved in a battle. So they're in the same space. And then Zuiho, where's his? Right here. Let's go ahead and roll for them. So let's go and roll for the bomber first. A 1. Oh, wow. So that is actually, so naval bomber, no launch. Wow. So he actually stays on the deck. Ooh, costly mistake by the Japanese admiral in charge. So, rolling for the fighter, which I believe he'll just do a cap now. A 3 naval fighter, cap. Yeah, he would do a cap, I think, anyway, because there's no, he can't escort no bomber. So it'll be a cap. That's it for the Japanese task force here. Let's look at the task forces here. 1, 2, 3. So what it is for spotted, determine who will fly. For each base or task force, resolve bomber missions, then fighters. Each in-range unit, which, for CSF, we're going to go ahead and check. So we're going to have to go ahead and flip them over to see who is here. But, and we'll ignore the marker. So we got here the Hiryu, the Soryu, and the and the Junyo and the Zuikaku. So they have 4 carriers, and they're going to be launching, I believe, everybody. Because hang on, or at least we're rolling 4. Because I believe, let's look at the Hiryu, for example. The Hiryu right over here has, the bombers have a range of 3, which they're here in this MI4. 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, so they're gonna launch all, or at least rolling for all of them. Wow. Okay, let's go ahead and get these guys out of here. So we'll do let's get them over in order. Again, not to talk about this before, not super exciting. See me grabbing units and counters moving around, but a little more exciting when you're actually playing it. Sorry guys. So Hiryu, Zuikaku, Zuikaku, I believe it's pronounced. Zuikaku. The Soryu. Again, I'm moving them here just to roll on them to see if they're going to join the attack. And then finally, the Junyo. Boom. Wow. Okay, well, let's see what happens. Okay, so let's go ahead and roll for them. And I think that's all for aircraft. Actually, the invasion, hang on, invasion MI. Do they have, look at all these. They may have carrier too. Hang on. Crew transports. I know, I have to dig through all of them, which is unfortunate, but. Oh, they do. Okay. So they're going to potentially launch as well. Let's talk about this Battle of Midway is going to happen right now. All right. The Ryujo, or Ryujo. The Ryujo. So the Ryujo, right, where are you at? Where are you at, Ryujo? Right here. Boom. So that may potentially launch as well. So, oh my God. This is why I wanted Saratoga as the Americans. Oh, Lord. I'm probably gonna call the video after this freaking epic battle. I lose half my fleet here. Okay, so let's go ahead and start rolling. So start bomber, we'll do bomber, fighter, bomber, fighter, bomber, fighter. Because what they'll do is, according to the rules, they're going to possibly escort the bomber. So if the bomber doesn't go, there's just going to be a cap, which I'm not attacking there anyway, so no worries for us. All right, so let's roll for the bombers. So bomber first, throw him the Hiryu. Naval bomber, that's a 6. Oh, he's definitely launching an attack. So naval bomber, he's going to attack the objective. So Hiryu, attack the objective. And we'll roll for his fighter. Naval fighter, a 4, cap. So he's actually just going to be a cap, which he's going to be a cap here. He's not going cap over here. Obviously, he's cap over the fleet here. Yep. Okay, and then let's roll for the Zuikaku's bomber. 4. Naval bomber, 4. Attack a task force. Roll for his fighter. Zuikaku's fighter. 4. His cap. A lot of cap. It's going to be a lot of cap here, I bet. All right, so the Soryu's bomber, 4. That is attack the task force. Which, keep in mind, task force. So they're flying. They're going to attack my task force 16, which is, made up of, which I'm going to have to move those units down there, by the way. But we'll get to in a second. This might be a perfect example of the battle. All right, so did I roll for Soryu yet? No, Soryu's fighter. See if he does. A 1. I think that's no launch. No, it's cap. Just cap. So, here's some cap. The Junyo bomber, 5. Attack objective. So you're going to have multiple bombers coming in from the Japanese. They're going to be attacking both the task force, my ships, planes, and then also Midway itself. Roll for Genius Fighter. A 5, I believe that is escort. Yep, so he will escort now. The Ryujo bomber, a 6, so that is attack objective. Right there, yep. And then finally, Ryujo's fighter, that is cap. Okay. Whew. All right. So they have launched basically everything they can. Actually, hang on. They'll also launch, I believe, this 1, 2, 3, 4. He's too far away for the guard force because no bombers have a range of 4, but he has a range good enough. So he will roll too. The Japanese land bomber from Wake, a 5 land bomber, 5 attack task force. Okay. Wow. Okay. So those are all Japanese planes being launched. In addition, let's go ahead, Task Force 16, because we're going to have this big epic battle here. Let's go ahead and move our task force down. Our ships, and also Midway's garrison as well. Main body A, I think that's it. I think we got everything set up for this epic battle. All right, let's mutual combat. This is it. Let's do it. So air to air. So everyone's gonna fire at each other. It's gonna be a mess to figure this out. All right, air to air. So we have your cap, and then you're attacking task force. So escort. So we all have this fighter as an escort attacking their cap. And then these two cap will both attack this escort here, and then we'll attack this bomber right here. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. And it's mutual, or it's it's the same time. So what our fighters, so our cap fighters can fire at attacking fighters, which we will. Escorts, fighters can attack cap fighters, and then bombers can only fire at the fighters that have shot at them already. So let's go ahead. What we'll do is we'll roll ours first, and then we'll roll the Japanese. So our first, so 3 or less against the 0 here. 3, so that is a hit. So he will be flipped over. Keep in mind it's mutual though, so when we roll, it's going to be on his stronger side. Do this one right here. 3 or less is a hit. That's a hit as well. Very nice. And right here, 2 or less. Oh, I should have sent something against him. 4. No good. Okay. All right. Now they will basically, they're firing back / they're firing. So this was, they're firing the cap, so he would have been an escort, right? Yep. And then he was a cap, and then he was a cap. And again, it's going to be their full strength, so they're firing at the same time. Japanese air to air, it's going to be he's going to shoot, and then he will shoot because he was shot at. So let's roll for the guy who was shot at. A 4, so that's a miss because he only has a 2. Let's roll for him. Remember, it's his front side, which is actually a 3, and what's it? 3 and 3. So 3 and 3. That's a miss. That's a hit. He was an escort. Now, air to air priority is, so he was escorting, so he was there. So he can't attack. Normally he'd fire at the torpedo bomber, but he was escorting, which attacking escort can only fire at cap fighters. So he can only fire at the cap fighter, which was one of these guys. So we'll go for them. Okay, boom. All right, I think we got the air-to-air done. Now, oh, and then I rolled for him already. Yep, so that's the air-to-air. So now we'll go ahead and roll for the anti-air step, which is fire all ground and naval units, air combat factors, add enemy air units. So this will be, all these, and all of, well, only these two really. So let's for the Japanese, let's go ahead and do that. Roll for theirs. So they have the Zuiho only has a 1. That's a miss. And then the destroyers have a 2. That's a miss as well. Now for the Americans, go ahead and head on down here for all of them. So the AVD has a 1. That is a hit. Which we're supposed to assign them technically. For the Americans, you assign them. The Japanese just roll, remember. Americans, you assign them. So this AVD should have attacked a specific one. We'll do here. And then we'll do... Let's see. I'm trying to... Oh, it's kind of a mess. Unfortunately, it's part of the combat, which I mentioned in my upcoming review video. The combat can get a little crazy. I'm trying to take out as many different ones as we can, I guess. So we'll do it like this. All right. Okay, so that was a hit. Already. All right, let's roll for the Hornet. A 3, so miss. This Destroyer here. That's a hit. Enterprise against him. 2. What did I roll? I don't know what I just rolled. I'm gonna roll this again. Roll it again. Hit. Midway defenses against Bomber here. That's a hit. She's kicking butt. And then 5. That's a miss. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's move our way back. So I did a little bit of a whooping there. That's nice. Went whooping on them. Now they're going to come in hot. All right. So now let's see what happens. Oh, no. I forgot the +1 for their combat factor. Oh, no. I don't remember what they did to air. Unfortunately. But... let's see, air to air. Is it all the? Let's see, the marker plus prize. Increase all air unit combat factors. Okay, so we'll do it for the naval and the ground. My bad, I forgot they had a +1. The Japanese had a +1. Remember, due to the surprise marker. That's my bad. I can't remember. I don't know what they would have gotten on against these two when they were shooting at them. So. Shoot. Oh, well. All right, well, shoot at them. They technically would just roll for their hits. Well, whatever. It's too late now. My bad. Okay, I know, what a mess, right? Okay, so let's go ahead. So we did anti-air, air-naval, just did that. Now air-ground, fire all units at eligible ground units. So this would be them attacking basically Midway itself, which would be, who do they have attacking the objective? These 3, right? Attack objective, yep. So air to ground will be 1, 1, and 1. +1 for that, so technically 2. So let's go ahead and start rolling. 2, miss, so 2 or less, right? That was a 6. That's a 6. And a 3. So all misses, basically ineffective bombing. And now they will... Oh, we should have done air naval first. My bad. Fire all air naval units at the ground. Not that it really matters in the timing either way. So, but these will all fire at naval units. So with that, we just go ahead and roll for hits with a +1. So a 2 becomes a 3. So 3 or less. That's a miss. The 3 becomes a 4. So 4 or less. That's a miss. 3 becomes a 4. 4 or less. 1 hit. It's only got 1 hit. That's awesome. All right, 1 hit, which we go over to the Japanese attacking American naval units hit table. The 4 or less. Excuse me, the 1 hit. So what you do is, not that part, sorry, attack priority. So it's air units attacking naval. CV is the first. So they're trying to target one of our carriers, Enterprise or Hornet. So let's go ahead and roll on here. The attacking naval units hit chart. So under CV row, go ahead and roll again. See what we get. 1 to 3 is damaged. So the Enterprise is damaged. Pick one. They're both the same. All right. Okay, so air ground. Basically did air naval first. Air ground should have done that second. Didn't really matter. Surface engagement. Surface ships are all going to fire at each other. So the Enterprise's damage, which we're going to go ahead and place him over here for now, just as a reminder there. He's damaged though, so and it's okay though, his units will be able to land on him. If he was destroyed, the aircraft will not lose him, but they're going to be able to land on there. That's fine. Okay. Surface engagement, all naval units and CDs are going to fire at each other. So obviously, I mean, I think we're probably going to do the business on these guys. We'll see. So let's assign this cruiser. Just put them this way instead. Destroyer, and then Midway here. Yeah, we'll do it like that. Okay, so let's do Midway attacking the destroyer with a 2. So 2 or less. 4, miss. The cruiser, 3 or less on Zuiho. A 4, that's a miss. And the destroyer, 1 or less on the Zuiho. Is a 5. So all misses there. I thought we were going to do some work on them. None of these guys have anti-naval, so the Hornet or the ABDs. So, all right, amphibious assault step. Nope, there's not going to be any amphibious assault because there's no TR units. So battle is concluded. So everyone's basically going to go back and land. Basically, we are done. So it's the equivalent of the mutual return step here. All surviving units, both sides, return to in-range friendly base or carrier. So we'll go back to wake. These units were part of the main body A, so we're going to put them back up here. I think we can go ahead and flip all these back over. He does not go there, he goes here. There's a pile of counters over here. All right, Midway can go back. All these. Well, we did lose a carrier, which is not good news, especially because the Japanese are closing in. Do have Saratoga. We can get it ready to go, along with Enterprise, get it repaired. Okay, so speaking of which, let's go ahead and put Zuikaku, his unit back. So he does land back at his carrier. Same with the Junyo. Ryujo. Zuiho. Where is it? There. Soryu and the Hiryu. Soryu and Hiryu. Damage a bunch. We did damage a bunch. Us Americans, we did a good job damaging. And all these guys will lay it back down because their battle's over. So, Ryujo. Again, for exciting watching me put counters back on units and holding boxes. This is the sad reality of a counter game, war games with a lot of counters and stuff. Sometimes you get a little tedious when you're watching. I suppose I could edit this out later, but I'm just trying to do a quick little video. I'm just trying to get into all kinds of editing. All right, let's do, so what damage? The Enterprise was 1 damage, right? So let's go ahead, Enterprises. We can land Midways. He's done. Enterprise. So we'll land all them. They're not destroyed because he's damaged. He's just out of the fight for now. Hornet. Man, I wish I'd had Saratoga too. I feel like I could have done some extra work. Dang. So I wanted, guys. I was rolling if you watched the other playthrough. Okay. All right. I think we're almost done with physically and game-wise. All right, and then this is done for because we're done with the combat here. Back. All right, that was the mutual return segment. Let's go on to the. I think we're done with that. Yep, everyone's all returned. Yep. Okay, good enough. Morale segment. Japanese morale. No worries with morale. They didn't suffer any ship losses. Logistics. Let's see. Logistics, no damage. Sorry, it took me a second. I was thinking about, I was reading something on my little charts, my little player aids you guys can't see. Okay. Logistics segment, no worries there. So now we finally get to go into our segment, our phase. So the Americans, G1, organization. So what are we going to do? Organize, create, reinforcements, replace. What are we going to do? Let's go ahead. Well, I don't want to create a task force, do I? I suppose I could. Let's do reinforcements, maybe? Yeah, let's do recruit reinforcements. We'll go ahead and place him in Pearl Harbor. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. G2, intelligence. Already have him spotted. Let's go ahead and do... Let's see. Signal intelligence, select a marker in the future so we know what happened next. Which will be CF versus NGS. This is Combined Fleet versus Naval General Staff. Basically, it'll mean that you skip all the Japanese phases and Japanese phase, and it goes right to the American phase, basically, which is really nice, obviously, for us. So allows us a chance to kind of breathe and catch up. Okay. Let's do G3 operations. Let's go ahead. I don't want to send him yet because I'm trying to do a naval operation, land operation. What should we do here? Yeah, let's go ahead and do land-based air operation. Conduct the following steps. So select a route, which will select Midway. Launch any land or naval aircraft, base at a home base or U.S.-controlled objective space. Conduct strikes against task force or against their island bases or their objectives they control. So, let's go ahead and launch. We're going to launch all these guys. We're going to have another battle. There's going to be land forces here against main body A. So we'll have our cap, and then we'll launch attacking the task force itself. There's our bombers and whatnot. From Midway Solitaire, we're doing a land operation again. They can launch their fighters for cab missions. Oh, they can't do... Hang on. Launch land fighters for cab missions. So they don't launch their naval units for cab. Okay, nice. All right, so main body A, where's he at? All right, so let's go ahead and Zuiho and destroyers. So I'm trying to get rid of that carrier Zuiho here. So we'll see what happens. So launch those for each base containing both Japanese and American units. Execute and resolve the combat procedure, which should be, well, they're in the same area. So technically we're going to have a full battle too. So anybody A, we have them. Task Force 16. Let's go ahead and put them back down here. Technically. And the Midway. Should be a full battle as far as I'm aware with the rules. It should be a full battle, even though we only do land operation. It doesn't specify, it just says for each space containing both Japanese and American units, execute and resolve combat procedure, which is combat procedure 9.0, is the fact that just the full regular combat. This combat is mandatory when Japanese and American units are in the same space. So there you go. I'd say it's everybody. We're just not going to have aircraft launch from carriers for some reason. So everyone was sleeping. All right. Well, it could be that they were, recovering from the previous, right, refueling, all that stuff. So anyway, let's go ahead and conduct our battle. Air-to-air step, which no air-to-air, it looks like, I guess. So it'll be anti-air, ground and naval units at enemy air units. So they're going to be firing at my guys coming in. Zuiho has a 1, and the destroyers have a 2, so a 1, or 1 or less. Oh, it's a hit. And the destroyers a 2, It's a miss. So, anti-air, check the attack priority. They're going to attack the TBDs. So, any TBDs, right? Boom, right here is a TBD. So, he is hit. Oh, eliminated. So, he is eliminated. Okay. And that was it. Now, we do air naval. So, fire all air units naval combat factors at enemy units, which we're obviously, like I said before, trying to take out. I want the Zuiho. So, I'm going to send everybody against them. All right, let's start right to left. 1, 2, and 3. So 1. So 1 or less. Miss. 2 or less. Miss. 3 or less. 3. Yes. Got a hit on Zuiho. All right, so now we go ahead and roll. We got a hit, so we have to check the table over here. Americans attacking Japanese naval units. A CVL, right here on that row. A 1. Damaged. Okay. Bummer. I wanted more than that. Japanese damage units. That's okay, though. Whew. All right, and then air to ground. No, nothing. Surface engagement, naval units, NCDs at enemy surface units. So they will. I will go ahead and fire naval, which is, let's see, 3, 1, 2. Obviously, they're all targeting him. I'm not going to move him over. So 3 from the cruisers. That's a hit. And a 1 from the destroyers. Miss. 2 for Midway. That's a hit as well. So 2 hits on the destroyer. So let's go ahead and roll over here for destroyer. A 4 damaged. 4 damaged. So, and they don't add up. And 2 damage does not mean eliminated. He still is only damaged. So he's damaged, which was all the units from main body A. So main body A is placed in the, where is the box? Should be a box for Japanese eliminated task forces right here. Beautiful. All right. Oh, where am I putting these? Yep, up here in the task force. All right, wrap up the battle. Hope we eliminated all their units, so that's nice. I'm here. Did lose a bomber, but that's okay. I'll take that loss. I'll take that for exchange for eliminating one of their carriers and destroyer. Really an entire task force, smaller one though. But don't worry, there's more coming. Okay, that's it, right? Yep, finish up the combat. Everything's good. Everyone's put back where they should be. Perfect. G4, logistics segment. Repair damaged naval units. Obviously, we're going to try to repair the Enterprise and try to place them in Pearl Harbor. Remember this with Saratoga. Let's roll. We want, what is it again? CVLs 1 through 3, 4 to 6. We need a 4 higher, 4 higher, 4 higher. And of course, we get a 1. Beautiful. Total epic failure. And that's it. Okay, administrative phase. Flip back over, unspotted. All secret. So, I'm going to stop the video there. I think we're good. Oh, he goes back, unfortunately. What we're looking at here, over again, not spotted. And we can start flipping these back over. So what we're looking at here is the Japanese have taken the Aleutians. They do still have their force up there, so they're not done yet. So they'll continue on towards Alaska. So I'm gonna have to try to fight them off, try to hold them off. Thankfully, I do have 2 task forces, 8 and 11. So I do have, I'd call it quite a few units available. I'm going to have to sortie out to meet them because if they're here in the end of their turn, they win the game automatically. So I'm going to sortie to meet them, but that's okay. We'll do that. Hopefully, at least with the surface engagement and then some aircraft here, I'll try to bomb them. But anyway, so that's going to be a big focus there. Looking at then obviously Midway, they're coming. We eliminated 1 task force, but they got their first carrier strike force, which is quite a bit of units coming, along with the invasion fleet. The guard fleet's close behind. So there's going to be another big battle or 2 over here. And they haven't activated at all in the Solomons or Port Moresby, which is kind of crazy. That's usually they would have activated a little bit more, consistently by now, but it is what it is. Nice thing is, the next turn, although I'm not going to film it, I'm going to get a big break by having the CF versus NGS Special Operations marker. Remember, that's going to skip basically the Japanese phase, and I'll just conduct the American phase, which, fingers crossed, again, I can get Enterprise repaired along Saratoga and send them back to Midway. I'm going to have to make another task force. Luckily, I have Task Force 1 available, but I'll have to make that task force, send them up to Midway, and hopefully there'll be enough to hold off the Japanese, but Hope you guys enjoyed this little playthrough. I think I only did I did the one turn. That's it. But it was 2 operations, so it was kind of like 2 turns. But I just don't want to go too long today. I just want to continue on a little bit, see a little bit more. I want to see a little bit more battles as well. I got a little messed up. I forgot the modifier at one point, and then I kind of got a little confused myself maybe. I do think I resolved, other than forgetting the modifier, I think I resolved the combat correctly. I guess I may have moved the steps too. You know, it is what it is. That's the wonderful thing about videoing yourself playing solitaire games, is that people get to see your mistakes and when you kind of mess up. But overall, you got to see everything in action. You know, moving units, task forces, all that good stuff. The good part of this game. So, again, this should go up, and then I should have a review coming very shortly after this video goes up. So hope you guys enjoyed. Comment below, let me know what you think. Point out my mistakes. It's all right. It happens. I'm putting the video out there. If I make mistakes, you guys see them. You can call them out. It's fair game, right? So as long as I call it your mistakes. Just kidding. Thanks for watching, guys. Until next time, later.